Hi, I'm Rhonda Gaskins, broker, Century 21 Lake Area Realty in the Lake Martin area. On average, our sales price are commanding a strong 96% of list price. Call me today and let me get started for you. 256-749-3644.
Well, it's a great story. I mean, I played at Auburn and went off and played professionally 6 years, Caleb, and got my start in coaching at North Carolina State. So as soon as I walked out of pro ball, I was very fortunate to get a job in the ACC, the pitching coach, and then the Auburn job, Coach Baird, my mentor, he retired. Coach Renfro stepped up, got the head job, and invited me to come back as a pitching coach, and stayed 4 years. And we got let go. Our staff got let go in the summer of May of 2004. So we knew that two things. I needed to stay in baseball. I feel like Christ had given me a platform to be in the middle of dads and sons in their lives. But I knew that I had two boys of my own who were 1 and 3. I needed to be home. And as a college coach, you're gone a lot. And I knew college baseball was going to be fine without me, but they might not be. So I just made a decision with my wife. We prayed about it and decided we'd stay in Auburn with no idea what to do. And I met a guy who knew a guy, which is the way it always happens. And he had the idea to open a facility. He didn't have a baseball guy. He was going to open it up and do physical therapy and do baseball. And I met him, we talked, became partners, and looked around town at every worn out, beat up warehouse you can find and settled right here what was Midway Plaza, which was the center of Opelika 30, 40 years ago. And this plaza had really fallen apart, so it was cheap, and we were able to get in, it's the center of really the whole, both towns, Auburn, Alabama with Pepper Parkway. So we opened up down the plaza, and then 11 years later, I had a new landlord, moved me here to this new setting, which is the old movie theater in the plaza. So I've been here 16 years, and by God's grace, we're here. It's not an easy business, but it's been blessed by good people and by Christ, and all we've tried to do is just treat people well. I've had travel teams every year. Your brothers played for me, and I've only had 2 though. I just didn't have the staff or the time to build it like a lot of organizations have. So this past summer, I had 2 thoughts. Either I was going to sell and get out, or find somebody to merge with. And Chris Snopek's a brother in Christ, a good friend, played at Ole Miss, played for the White Sox in the major leagues. He had started his facility in Jackson, Mississippi a year before I did. So we'd gone over there 16 years ago just to kind of get some ideas. Well, 16 years later, I called him back and I said, hey, I'm going to sell or merge. He said, let's do it. Let's merge together. And so here we are. We're about to become the P360. Chris's facilities in Mississippi are called P360 Performance Sports Academy. And out of those facilities, he has started the Sox organization. Now, he played for the White Sox. He went to Jerry Reinsdorf, the owner of the Chicago White Sox. He got permission to use the name. You can't just take a major league, as you know, can't just take a major league team name legally and use it. And he got permission to use it. And so what'll happen is it's an acquisition. They'll take over. I'll still be here as a director, and my role now is to build teams. You know, I've always had my 2, but we're going to build teams for the area. I've always been a Parks and Rec supporter, always from day one. But I'm worried about Parks and Rec, and I think we can help. I think we can become a situation where we can help partner with Parks and Rec, Auburn-Opelika, Beauregard, and help them create interest, excitement, and then create teams out of here that will go and play. And we want to be elite. We want to jump in with the team elites and the home plates and the excels. We do a great job up in Oxford, and we want to compete with them. And we want to have good players. And we want to see those players be impacted as young men and young women. We're going to do softball too. And we also want to see them fulfill a dream of getting a college scholarship. So I've told people for the last few weeks that I've been a mom and pop, right? Everybody's been to that diner. Well, we're getting ready to be a 5-star buffet. And we're going to offer great coaching, great competition, and good people to our kids in this whole region. I mean, it's not just the Auburn-Opelika, Beauregard. It's going to be Montgomery and LaGrange and Dothan and Columbus, and reaching out to a world that we haven't reached out to before. Well, I think the first thing is they're going to be around solid men, and that's my role. I got to find the guy like a Caleb Brooks, like a Connor Brooks, who maybe played a little college baseball, get a degree. They have time to invest in kids, and I'm going to pay them. So you get paid to come invest in kids. That's the first thing is we're going to impact lives for Christ and talk to little boys and teenage boys and then older about how to be a husband and a father. And then number 2, we're going to take them to places where they're going to play good competition. And there's going to be college coaches, and we're going to train them. One of the things I love about what the Sox do, P360, so again, the facilities are called P360 Performance Sports. The teams are called the Sox. Snopek Baseball Group, so SBG Sox. But one of the things I love is if you're a member, so if you're in our organization, you sign a year contract and you're paying a monthly fee, out of that fee we have weekly classes. So Monday through Thursday, a member of my staff will be here. Let's just say Caleb Brooks is here from 4 to 4:45 to work on catching. And whoever's in our organization can come in the door, shorts and t-shirt, and work on drills. So it's not team practice, it's weekly development. Come in, don't spend a lot of time, we don't want to burn you up, but come in here, let's get better on catching the ground ball, swinging the bat, making a pitch around team practices. So it's going to be development, both I think as young people and softball, baseball players. Well, I've been trained by the best. I mean, I played for Coach Baird at Auburn. I played professionally. So it's not about what I know, it's what I've been taught. I worked for Steve Renfro at Auburn, so I was around some really good people, and I learned a lot of good things. I teach hitting. I wasn't a hitter, but I sat with Steve Renfro and a guy named Billy Best for years. So I think this community has learned the sports academy as we are today, before we change our name. We've kind of we've gotten in the fabric. I mean, people think about softball and baseball, they come. And it took a while to build that. So I think that I can offer experience. I know for the high school age kids, I can get on the phone and call any coach in the state, because I know them. I coached with them, and now I've called on them to, hey, we got a good player here, come see him. And I hope that the younger boys that are in the program, as they have a dream of a college scholarship, or the younger girls have a dream of that they will allow me to be a mentor. You know, we're gonna bow our head and pray. We're gonna talk about life. We're gonna talk about, we got whipped today. How do we handle that? How do we honor our family when things don't? So things like that, Caleb. Maybe more of a mentor role, but the baseball and softball is a big part of it for me as well. The level of competition, you know, Parks and Rec is Parks and Rec. My dad coached 30, 40 years ago when I was playing as a veterinarian. He didn't know baseball. And it was the same thing then it is now. You had kids that needed a lot of help, and you had good players. But I think the level of competition, you know, the world is headed towards travel sports. It's huge. So I think the benefit is the competition you go play against. I mean, we're going to go to Perfect Game at Lake Point. We're going to go to the Hoover Met, which has got a beautiful place. We ought to be proud of that in our state, that they went and built something that's convenient for most of us in Alabama to drive to and play. So I think that the travel situation offers a little more in-depth coaching. So guys like my dad are still there, because dads are priceless, but they aren't counted on to be the coach. We have guys who played and who have the experience to teach it. I've got guys who caught, and they can teach catching. I got guys who played infield. I got guys that were pitchers. I got guys who played college baseball. So we have guys on our staff who did it all and can now give it back. And they lived it. And when you live it, I think you teach it a little better in most cases. Well, they're bringing a brand. They're bringing a name that people recognize. So people recognize the Sox organization. They have won tournaments. They've won championships, and people recognize that. And it creates interest to play for you. So good players. This world of Twitter and social media, as you know, and that's what they're bringing too. I've never done a social media, whatever word you would use. I've never done the social media effect or whatever we call it. They do. So if somebody throws 88 to 90, boom, it's for the Sox, it's out there for the world to see. And coaches now, college coaches, are probably using social media with the virus. They have to, because they can't go recruit, at least the Division I guys. But they're probably using social media now more than ever. I mean, they are recruiting on social media, number one, because of the virus, but number two, it's instant. Like if I'm following a kid in South Carolina and he throws a pitch, I see it, and then I'm following, if I can follow him, right? So P360 is going to bring some improvements to the facility. They want to improve the netting, the lighting, and the paint, which is great. But they're going to bring that social media presence where when you do something well on the field, it's going to be out there instantly for the world to see, and the coaches see, and now the boys and girls that are in our organization will have an opportunity to have their name broadcast loud and clear to the teams that they're interested in. Well, we're in a transition period. So for the first time ever, we're going to have online registration. So I've always used a beauty parlor book with a pencil, which in one way it's good, but this online registration, so we're kind of in a transition. We're still doing the beauty parlor book. Like if you need something, you can always call me. And I can get my cell phone, it's fine. It's 334-559-4575. Call me, text me, hey Mark, we're trying to get in with you. But a time is coming pretty quickly here, probably before December 1st, that you'll be able to get online, pick your instructor, like most of the world's doing, other than me. I'm a little old-fashioned, and then sign up for that lesson that you want. So that's going to be the beauty of it too. It'll be a lot less work for my staff and me having to return texts and calls and schedule. You just go do it. And mom, dad, whoever can pick what they want. We'll have tryouts. We're going to have youth tryouts, which is the 9 to 12-year-old baseball in January. But right now, what is set, the high school tryouts will be December 5th at Duck Sanford right here in Auburn. And the softball, for the first time ever, we're doing the softball deal. The tryouts there will be at Lee Scott Academy on December 12th. And you can go on to the performance, so it's P360performancesports.com. You can go on that website because it's all there. Tina Deese, I'm excited about Tina. She's a legend around here. Started the Auburn University softball program. She's now at Lee Scott. She's going to be our director of softball. You know, so we've got somebody like that. I mean, are you kidding me? It's awesome. She said yes, and we've been good friends for a while. So the people that are involved, all of a sudden, Caleb, that's what's excited me. I got people like that. And Danny Cooper here every day teaching his girls softball pitching, and just some really good young and older experienced people to be a part of this team and help us do it right.